Alright, so welcome to workout 8 of Mike Mentzer's famous consolidation routine. This is not the one highlighted in his seminar video, which a lot of you might have seen on YouTube. I'll put a link down below. But this is the version that I believe he came up with before that. It's detailed in Heavy Duty 2 and also High Intensity Training the Mike Mentzer way. And basically it consists of workout A, which is seen here, which is the dip, the chin and the squat. And it also consists of workout B, which is the deadlift, the press, and the calf raise. And roughly I'm going to be taking about 7 to 8 days between workouts. That's what I've got my frequency down to at the moment. And it's what I actually need, to be honest, to recover from the workout and adapt to it. Now, I know a lot of you who aren't familiar with high intensity training, that'll sound absolutely crazy, like a whole week off. Like most of you probably haven't had a week off who aren't doing high intensity training in a year or maybe even years. I know how it is because I trained the volume approach for ages and I got beginner gains, absolutely. But I ended up just spinning my wheels after a while. I feel burnt out, overtrained, and you just can't understand why you're not making progress. I mean, just look at my latest series that I did on my channel, training 6 days a week. I didn't gain any muscle. Yes, my lifts went up, but a lot of it, my lifts had been close in the past, or it was more, I was getting better at the skill of the lifts, of the skill of moving a weight from A to B rather than actually getting stronger, actually stimulating increases in muscle size. And this is what this program's really after. It's not about moving the heaviest weight from A to B. I can do dips with 50 plus kilos for reps. That's not what this is about. I can do a weighted chin up with 50 kilo dead hang, but it's not what it's about. It's about, constant tension, moving really slow, no outside forces, no momentum. And that is the best way that you're going to stimulate muscle growth in my experience. Now, you might look at me and think, well, what does your experience actually mean, Sam? Because, you're not the biggest guy by far. Well, absolutely not, and I'm never going to be, no matter how many years I spend in the gym, because I just don't have the genetic makeup for it. Some of you might see that as an excuse. It's not an excuse, it's just fact. I just don't have the genetic build for it. Very small joints, not the right muscle length, stuff like that. But, I'm not going to get too into that. You've got what you've got. You've got what you have to work with. The only person you can accurately compare yourself to is yourself. Remember that. So as long as you're getting stronger on a workout to workout basis, you're doing something right. And that's what high intensity training does for me. I've done different protocols in the past. The consolidation is going to be the most, is the one I've had the most success with because the volume's right down there. Maximize my recovery because I believe, judging off what I see other people, my recovery is probably average, maybe slightly below, but that's just a genetic trait that I have, and it is what it is. I know what it's like to be genetically gifted in a sport. I'm a very talented endurance athlete. For me to run 20 plus miles wasn't that much of a big deal, took very, very minimal training, but I know for some people, like training for a marathon, it's a massive thing that they've got to train up for. I never had that issue because I was genetically blessed. But anyway, that's enough about genetics and stuff. If you want to believe me, if you want to trust this system, just keep an eye on my videos. I'm going to be posting them and you'll see the weights go up from session to session. Wait till the end of the video. I've got an Excel spreadsheet with the last few weeks of training and you can see how my lifts improve every single workout. None of this periodization stuff, training intensely some weeks, then less intensely, whatever, whenever. That's far too complicated. I like it much more simple, and I just don't understand the idea of training intensely, i.e. effectively, for a period of time, and then backing off and training not as effectively with low intensity while you let your recovery catch up. I see what's going on, but for me, it's just not the mindset that I have. I'm not after being the 1% elite athlete. I just like to see progress from workout to workout, and I don't like to spend my whole life in the gym. Working out for about 20 minutes once a week, even less probably. And yeah, just going really slow, time under load, constant tension like you can see here. It's only 60 kilos on the bar, But you know, anyone who's like squatting 2 plates, I can squat 2 plates. Not that impressive, I know, but I can do 2 plates for a couple of reps. And I was doing 2 plate squats every single day actually. But then just dropping it down to this weight and doing it super strict like this, it's just incredible the difference it makes. Again, you've got to put your ego aside of, you know, oh, it's not heavy weight on the bar. It's not about moving the weight from A to B. If you're actually after stimulating maximum muscle size, then it is about moving slow, no outside forces, no momentum, and taking that muscle to a deep level of fatigue. All these outside forces and momentum, they're going to diminish that for you, just increase the injury risk. It's not necessary. If you want to become a champion powerlifter and whatever, yeah, okay, you're going to have to get good at using all the forces available to you to move that weight from A to B. But yeah, anyway, I'll say with this training once a week, yeah, absolutely. I get gains in muscle size. And you'll see that. I'll put my measurements in some future videos, and when I've got a bit of data to show you how the measurements creep up, it's nothing drastic, you know, it's maybe 1/8 of an inch a month, which might not sound like a lot, but for you natural bodybuilders out there, 1/8 of an inch a month, just equate that. That's 1/4 of an inch in 2 months. Half an inch in 4 months, if you can sustain that. We're talking about 1.5 inches of growth in your arm or your calves in a year if you can sustain 1/8 of an inch. Now, obviously, the more advanced you get, you more diminished your returns are. But you know, you got to think longer term sometimes. It's not a very attractive video title, is it? Gain 1/8 of an inch on your calf in 1 month. I mean, you know, it's not really what you see around YouTube, but it's the kind of the hard truth for a lot of people, unless you're one of them genetic outliers. But I think I've covered everything I want to in this video. I mean, as you can see on screen, this is my past few workouts that I've done up to the one you just saw there. And as you can see with the dip and chin, there's increases every single session. You know, when you look at like 5 days, if you take from the 20th to the 25th, this is only a small thing of data, so I can't say hard and fast with this, but just taking my experience and my word for it, if you will. Whenever I have about 5 days recovery, there's enough that an increase has been stimulated. You know, I've got that 5 second increase from 63 to 68 on the dip. But I find when I rest 7 days, 8 days even, the progress is more dramatic. Like you can see on the chin up here, between 25th to the 31st, so about 6 days, you can see I've gained actually an extra 20 seconds, which is really good. But then you can actually see when I rested 8 days between the 31st and the 8th on the chin, let's say, because unfortunately my filming didn't record for the 31st on the dip, so I can't comment on that. But if we look at the chin performance, 8 days rest, nothing else, no overtraining. I was 7 seconds off getting the same time under load with 2.5 extra kilos. That's a big deal. That is a massive improvement. But yeah, you know, I hope you guys found this video informative, interesting. If you got any comments, please leave them down below. Anything you'd like to know. But workout B, I'll have that up in a week or so when I've, you know, fully recovered back up to baseline, because obviously this workout, you know, it's a massive stimulus. It's caused some deep level of fatigue in my muscle. That's got to build back up to baseline where I was before I started this workout. Then I've got to adapt on top of that. This process doesn't happen in 2 seconds. It doesn't happen in a day. It doesn't happen in 2 days. Yes, maybe if you're an absolute rank beginner, it will. You know, I got gains off training every single day, doing this and that, millions of sets, but that will grind to a screeching halt very quickly. But anyway, I think I'm getting off topic here, so I'm going to wrap up this video now. But like I said, any questions, leave them down below, any comments, you know, just try and be polite to everyone in the comment sections. Try not to be an arsehole about anything. If you've got a question, please ask it in a sensible way. Don't just put, this training is stupid, with no reasoning whatsoever. But also note, I'm not one of these high intensity people who's going to tell you it's the only way to make gains. No, it's not the only way. There are other systems that work. There are higher volume systems that will work for getting there. The argument then becomes, though, which one is the most efficient to get you to your natural limit. But there are multiple systems that will produce gains for you. But also remember, only compare yourself to yourself. I only compare me to me, okay? I only compare my dip performance compared to what I could do last week. I don't compare my dip performance to some random person on YouTube or some bodybuilder who's taking loads of steroids or elite powerlifter or whatever, okay? That's not how you measure progress. You measure progress within yourself. How much did you improve from one workout to the next? That is telling you how effective your training program is. If you manage to squat 100 kilos for 5 reps, and then the next session when you come in, you only manage 100 kilos for 4 reps, obviously something's not working. If you manage it for 5 reps again, obviously something may have happened, but you've just stayed at the same strength level. What you're looking for is that 100 kilos for 6 reps, for 7 reps, for 8 reps. That should happen. Progress shouldn't be a random thing that might happen here or there. No, progress should happen every single workout. Now, that being said, you will have bad workouts, obviously, but apart from the odd exception, progress should be seen every single workout. And with that, I'll wrap up the video here and hopefully make some more videos in this consolidation routine so you can see some progress over time. And hopefully I'll gain about a half an inch on my calves and arms and stuff like that, which I'm all documenting in an Excel spreadsheet. And when the time's right, when I've got enough data on that, you can see the progression over time. I'll share that all with you. But for now, see you all later.